Welcome back to the Real Room. I'm your host, LaCretia Mitchell. And on this episode, it's about more than sports. It's about celebrating those who choose to shine the light on others. It's about the people who create spaces for talent to be seen, voices to be heard, and dreams to take shape. Our guest wears many hats, but two of them have made a huge impact on the state. He's the creator and host of the ROK podcast, where he highlights Oklahoma athletes and brings their stories to life, educating and inspiring along the way. And he's also one of the founders of the Super 16 All Star, the only Oklahoma All Star event dedicated to showcasing some of the best middle school ballers in the state, giving coaches a rare opportunity to see all the talent in one place. But beyond the podcast and the platform, Sean is a Christ believer, a husband of 26 years, and a proud father of three children who have taken their own athletic journeys and are thriving. He himself knows the grind, having played wide receiver for Oklahoma State University from 1995 to 1999. Sean wanted me to make sure you knew that he was a part of the only class to beat OU 3 out of 4 years before moving on to arena football. And while he's built credibility in sports, his definition of legacy is far simpler: to be remembered as someone who was cool, kind, and always willing to help, just to be a good person. We're going to dive into the story of Sean, the man, the mentor, and the message behind the platforms that continue to elevate Oklahoma athletes. Let's get into it. Welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Listen, we're here.
We're here. By the grace of God, we're here.
By the grace of God, we're here. Listen, the Shine Love is in the real room. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you, sir.
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
Listen,
glad to be here.
You could have said no. You could have said no. Yeah. Because you big time now.
No, that's not it.
Yeah, big time. ROK podcast, all the things going on. So again, I just appreciate you for being here.
Yes, absolutely.
And we'll definitely dive into that.
Okay.
But before we get started, before we dive in deep, I always do a this or that with everyone that comes in. I was about to say my clients. We're not in real estate right now, LaCretia.
Right. You're not showing me a home right now.
I'm not showing you a home right now.
Yeah.
Switch gears. LaCretia.
There we go.
So this or that. Okay. So I'm going to give you an option. You pick. Okay.
All righty.
So Oklahoma State Fair this year or no State Fair?
No State Fair.
Break that down.
No State
You
Fair.
don't go. You don't go to the fair.
I don't. I used to go very seldomly, but it was in high school.
Okay.
But I've seen too many some incidents and things just happen. I'm just like, okay. For one thing is everything costs an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
It seems like the food. I think most people go for the food sometimes, and you got to pay $30 for a chicken leg, and then they have a bunch of weird stuff. I mean, I'm not knocking the fried chicken Oreo cookie mix. I'm like, what?
That's what we were just talking about that. I was like, are we going to the fair this year? I'm just not, I'm not into it. And I don't ride rides, like especially everything, how fast they put them rides up. Yeah. I'm like, that ain't me.
Yeah, I don't know. See boats shaking. Nah,
that ain't it. That ain't it. That it. Nah. Okay, well, let's dive into it. Okay, so if I had to ask you who Sean is, how would you explain who Sean is?
Sean Love is a dude, a cool person that's easy to talk to, gets along with everybody, or at least tries to.
Yeah.
And just a hardworking person, a family man. You will always hear me talk about my kids, my family, and it's I'm into a lot of things. People always telling me that I'm doing too much.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes sleep is overrated to me. But then because if I'm sleeping, something needs to be getting done. Whether it's, and my wife will get on to me, but if it's housework that needs to be done or just business work, that's stuff around the businesses.
Yeah.
But a hardworking dude wants to help people, want to help others, and just give back to where I came from. The sports, just that's it.
Yeah.
Just a laid down to earth guy, that
Yeah.
laid back, and nothing really gets me boiling or upset or anything. I'm just kind of just roll with the punches and handle it how I handle it.
Yeah.
So
Listen, I've always watched you and you are that. Like I've never seen you get upset about anything. And we kind of I guess
yeah.
it's been about how old is my oldest? We've been
Uh,
in probably a while now. Maybe
yeah.
6th grade. Did y'all start doing Super 16 when they were maybe 6th
Yeah, well,
grade?
even before that, we did our Dream Athletic tournaments, and
Okay.
then was Impact. Yeah,
Yes.
Impact. Y'all used to play in them, so that was well, yeah, maybe fifth,
Yeah.
sixth grade, seventh grade
So
with the
and
girls.
she's 22.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Good gosh, right.
man,
Goodness
yeah.
gracious, I wanna say, oh
We
my goodness, that was a long time ago. Okay,
yes,
anyway,
yes,
I'm
yeah,
aging us now.
yeah. Cut
But
to that. Cut to that. No, no,
yeah, cut that out. We ain't saying that.
no,
No, I say
no.
it all the time. Listen, I'm over 40 and I'm proud of it,
Yes,
happy. I
yeah,
love my 40s.
yeah.
Amazing. But no, you've always been just that calm, cool, collective guy. Like it could be a lot of things going on and you
Mhm.
just walking around, just so
Yeah.
very much I agree with all of that. Let me
Okay.
ask you this. Where did you come from? Grew up on what side of town?
Okay.
Explain that.
Yeah. So I was actually born in Edmond,
Okay.
in Edmond, Oklahoma, and then but I lived in Guthrie. So my
Okay.
mom lived in Guthrie for up into the fourth grade, and so um, grew up there with a lot of family, friends, and or just family
Yeah.
basically, and just played around the neighborhoods in Guthrie, and just finally just got out. My mom worked at a correctional facility, Mabel Bassett. I don't know if they
Okay.
changed the name of it, but I think it's Cape Bernard Correctional Facility now. But she worked there, so we would drive back and forth. No, she would drive back and forth to work,
Mm.
come back home, pick us up from my grandmother and grandmother's house, and who is still alive. She is 106 years old right now. Yeah.
Really? That
she's
is a
yes. Yeah, she's
blessing.
106. But yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So we stay at my grandma's house, and then when she got when it was a lot more demanding, we just picked up and moved
Yeah.
to Oklahoma City. So from the fifth grade on up to John Marshall, I went to Hoover, Eisenhower, John Marshall High
Okay.
School. Went on to play, football at Oklahoma State, but I'm originally from Guthrie, the Rock, as they call it,
Yeah.
Gus Rock.
Yeah.
But a majority of my childhood came from fifth grade on up to high school, which is the north side of Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
North
Yeah.
side, the Village. Um, you know, uh, well, not North Highlands, not as far as North Highlands, but the Village over there by by John Marshall.
Yeah.
So
Poor
I guess
you.
that's
It's
yeah.
okay
I
though.
know.
You know, I'm not
We,
gonna I'm
we,
not gonna knock you for that one. I'll let that slide. No, I'm
hey,
joking.
blame my mama. My mama. Blame my mama. Yeah, that was her fault. Yeah.
Listen,
So
okay,
no.
so went on to play at Oklahoma State University.
Hmm.
And I'm a joke with you all the time about it
Absolutely.
because my family is diehard. Now, how this happened, I don't know, because none of them went to OU. Okay, none of
Okay.
them, and so, but they are diehard
But
OU
that's how most
fans.
Oklahoma people are, really.
I'm just like, what is wrong with you? Anyway, so went to OSU and you played.
Uh-huh. From 95 to 99. So
Okay.
coming out of John Marshall, and I've said this on a few of my podcasts, but coming out of John Marshall, I was, fairly highly recruited
Mm-hmm.
athlete,
Come on.
and so so I had an option to choose from different schools. My initial choice was I was going to Colorado
Mm-hmm.
initially to play with the Cordell Stewart, and I mean some of those guys that
Yeah,
Bieniemy and so well, you may not know the names, but those are good dudes that played at Colorado. Ray Caruth, you probably remember that name,
I
but
don't
but
listen. So it's
he's
doing
in
this,
he's in
Sean.
jail now. No, but no, I went to wanted to play with the Colorado Buffaloes,
Okay.
and so the coach that was recruiting me became the head coach at Oklahoma State.
Oh.
So he then started to recruit me at John Marshall. Well, while he was at Oklahoma State, he would come to John Marshall and visit and talk, and came to the house a few times, and he and a few other coaches. But and so from that point, I went on the visit to Oklahoma
Mm-hmm.
State, and me and my buddy, my childhood buddy, that from fifth grade on up to college, we played football together since the fifth grade. So it was Willie
Mm-hmm.
Grissom is his name.
Mm-hmm.
And from fifth grade, we started playing football, and all the way up to college. semi-pros, even on time
Yeah.
afterwards. We played on the same team and just loved every minute of it. And so he and I committed on the same recruiting trip,
Okay.
which that class of athletes became one of the best. I'm not gonna say one of the best, but it was the only class that has beaten OU 3 out of 4 times.
Hold on, y'all. He's been waiting to say this.
I was waiting for
I
my
just
cue. I was waiting for my cues.
look right there and tell him right there.
Right, the 3 out of 4, 3 out of 4, 75%. Long as
When
my
I,
math is right.
listen, when I talked to him about this, he's been waiting to say that on this
That's my claim to
podcast.
fame. Yeah,
FYI,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Listen, hey, toot your horn, okay, sir?
yeah.
Because I know if I would have done it, I would be tooting my horn.
So
So I
now,
get it.
so every year, so since OU is out of the Big 12 conference,
Yeah.
every year during Bedlam, I used to have a touchdown catch that I used to post every year because it was in the corner of the end zone. It was a toe tap,
And you play
toe on the
wide
line. I
receiver.
play wide
Yeah.
receiver, and
Okay.
I had to post it every year. Every time Bedlam came, even though we might have lost the game, but I got to post it.
You got to
So
remind
I got
them.
to remind them.
You got to
So,
remind. Hey,
but
nothing
fun
wrong with
times,
it.
fun time.
Okay,
Yeah,
nothing wrong with it.
fun
I get
time.
it. So
Yeah.
thinking back then,
hmm
right? You think about what it was like recruiting
hmm
and how the coaches were. They were coming to houses, all the things,
Yeah.
right? And you think about now and how that process is. How has that changed since then?
Ooh, it has changed tremendously because, of course, technology is
Yeah.
is is the big key right now, and man, used to have to send, or our coaches had to send VHS tapes, big
Yeah.
thing,
Some
um,
people don't know what that is. What that
no,
is.
well,
It's
I don't even
okay.
know what VHS stands for, but that's what it is. It's old,
Yeah.
and they had to double players and record the game and then do it again,
hmm
and then send it off to coaches. So luckily, I had some coaches to do that
Yeah.
for me. Some coaches relied on just stats from the newspapers.
Yeah.
They would look in different areas and look at the stats and say, okay, luckily I was always
Wow.
one or two in the
Yeah.
stat sheets and each year. And so that was like recruiting tools.
Yeah.
Some of them didn't get to see film.
Mhm.
Some did come and visit, and once they heard about you or whatever, I was named in a few like who's who books and
Mhm.
blue chips and red chips and all that stuff. And right now it's 5 and 4 stars. Those
Mhm.
rankings.
Mhm.
Back then it was called the blue stars, were the national rankings, and the red chip was like an Oklahoma ranking.
Yeah.
And so I was able to earn a blue star, a blue chip. I'm sorry, and the difference now and then is just
Night and day.
at the at the click of a button, at the push of a button,
Yeah.
all your information can be sent to a coach in Hong Kong. I
Yeah.
know you're gonna get
Yeah.
recruited, but it can be sent anywhere in the world to be recruited.
You're right.
And so, and communication is so simple now, and
Mhm.
so there's no excuse for um, not to be or not being able to be seen.
Yeah.
Now it takes work.
You're
It takes
right.
work to get out there, but you have to be willing to do that and be persistent in it. And you know, I had a big hand in my kids' athletic recruiting. So because
Yeah.
I kind of knew what it takes, and I've helped other kids to do it. But
It's
it takes work,
yeah.
but you have to know how to navigate it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've done over the last couple of decades
Okay.
with athletes.
Yeah.
So
Great segue into let's
okay,
talk about Super 16 All
okay,
Stars,
okay.
right? And that's where
Yes,
we first kind of met
yes.
each other
hmm
and had talks and things like that.
hmm
And tell us what the thought was behind it, because you're one of the founders. Is that
Correct.
correct?
Yep.
Okay. So tell us what the thought behind that, why you guys established Super 16 All Stars for Oklahoma athletes.
So back, I want to say our first year was 2017,
Mm-hmm.
doing it. And so myself and my cousin, Santon Jones, we
Mm-hmm.
call him Bones, we were doing athletic tournaments,
Yeah.
and just seeing all these kids in Oklahoma, like,
Mm-hmm.
man, these are some ballers, man.
Yeah.
We should just put together a team of girls. And the first I was put together a team of girls because we knew a guy in California whose name was Cameo Williams.
Yes. Yeah.
Cameo Williams. And so
Is he still
he's still doing the same thing.
okay?
Yep,
Okay.
Jim's in the gym. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
shout out to Cameo. Yeah. So that was kind of sparked everything. And Bones was like let's put together an all-star team because we got some girls here in Oklahoma, and it was just
Man.
mainly girls at first.
Yeah.
But it included your daughter. I mean,
Yeah.
all the girls that
We
were.
can go on and on and on.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a great group of girls. And then we just kind of evolved to, man, let's just do this for Oklahoma to help put our athletes on the map.
Yeah.
And he wanted to do just girls first. I said, let's do both. Because he has 3 girls that play college basketball, and so that was kind of his. I said, I'll take the boys' side, so let's do it. And from there, that first year was a success. We had a media day. I mean, everything was kind of. It was thrown together, but it was organized, I guess. So, I mean, we had a media day. We had, a photographer who's her daughter, Carly Johnson, Angela Johnson. She came out and did, photography for us. And but her daughter, Carly Johnson, I think she's still at Arkansas. Or did she transfer? She may still be at Arkansas.
I don't know. Listen, when I say I haven't kept up, I haven't. I'm like, okay, the baby's in college. That's good. Okay.
Yes, she's in college, I think. Yeah, I believe. And so she did our photographs, and we had we did little interviews with the athletes, and just had
I remember all that. Yeah,
took pictures and just had fun with it. And then game day came, and we just went off of kind of word of mouth. We didn't. I knew we knew a lot of the girls, but didn't know a lot of the boys, and so basically went off word of mouth to help who are the best athletes in Oklahoma. And man, it didn't fail. It was electric. It was exciting. Saw some of the best talent in Oklahoma. Of course, Trey Alexander was one of the first ones, and of course he's playing in the NBA right now. So, but it was just a way to project and increase the visibility for the athletes of our state. And of course, because I played here, my kids are athletes in Oklahoma. I mean, yours. I mean, it just everywhere we touched, we knew what was going on.
Yeah,
we knew. Just it was just a way to get our athletes out there.
Yeah,
and it was. Every year got a little better, and then we evolved the process. We went to a combine setting where we had kids try out.
Yep.
And so it was, it became I would say it's become a household name.
For sure.
But this year,
listen, toot your horn, sir. Listen, no, y'all done a great job over the years. It's a platform for our young athletes, and it's definitely something Oklahoma needs, because I feel like we kind of get kicked to the side on a lot of things, and basketball was definitely one of them.
Yes.
So toot your horn.
Yeah, well, and I'm very happy to say this year coming up is going to be our 10th year.
Wow.
And so we're coming up on a decade of doing this for kids, and and one of the things that I've started to do is before we start our combines, before they stretch or anything, I do a quick 10-minute recruiting tool, or I give each parent a sheet with recruiting tips on it, what to expect, what not to expect, how to just different tips and tricks. Very brief, because I don't want to take up their time. They want to watch their kids perform, but just want to give them that the little fee that they pay to for their kid to perform. It's worth way more than a $20 combine fee or whatever. But that's one thing that I wanted to really push out to start. Okay, some parents and athletes need to know what's the process, how to work it, and hopefully they have people in their corner to help them. But my email and my phone number's on there. I said, if you have any help, and people have contacted me and say, hey coach, I've seen this website, is it legit or is it not? If I don't know, I'll have somebody else that may know for them. So just being an outlet and an avenue for college coaches to come see the game. And I know sometimes it's not very many to come, but there are a lot that inquire through email, because they're they're 7th and 8th grade, so it's like, oh, we don't want to look at them that early. But some of them, they're worth looking at. So But I do keep a spreadsheet of all the athletes that have played, contacts information. I still have it all. And if they, as they get to that level in high school where they're being recruited, hey coach, what about this kid? Or hey, I got all of their information. You need it. Here it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
That's
So
amazing. Congratulations on coming up on 10
yeah, I
years. That's
appreciate it.
that's a
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah.
Especially what you guys are doing and what you have created in Oklahoma
Hmm.
is something that definitely was needed. And so I want to personally say thank you for y'all doing that,
Yeah.
exposing our kids and just
You're
helping
welcome.
them, because who better to know than somebody that's done it, right?
Hmm.
Who better to get the information from than
Correct.
somebody that's done it before. And so
Yeah.
again, thank you for
Yeah.
that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay.
You're welcome.
We're gonna move on, okay?
Okay.
Because we can be there all day.
You're right. We can.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
How has your faith shaped your identity as a man and not just an athlete?
Oh man. As a man, I think first it has to, and I'll be the first to say, sometimes my priorities are different.
Mhm.
But and I know, I've had to get knocked in the head and had to
Mhm.
fail a few times. Okay,
Mhm.
you need to move some stuff around
Yeah.
to, put your family first, make sure they're okay,
Yep.
and then comes everything else. And
Yeah.
so, um, I, I'm not a big church goer, but I
Mhm.
do believe in worshiping Him,
Yeah.
and I read the Bible as as much as I can, but it's and I'll be the first to say it's not a lot,
Yeah.
but I try,
Listen,
but
I'm
I
not over
think
here judging you
hey,
because I'm
no, I'm
same
just
thing.
saying,
Okay.
I'm just but my wife, she usually puts different quotes and scriptures in our group family
Mm,
text
yeah.
maybe every Sunday, once a week, at least
Yeah.
once a week, and that puts in puts things in perspective,
Yeah.
just, and it reels me back in. It's okay, I got to do
Yeah.
some things. So but I think faith, just being a good person, and there was the golden rule:
Treat
do unto
others, yeah,
others
do unto others
as
as
you
you would want them to do unto you.
correct.
Yeah.
So that I try to do that. I try to follow that rule
Yeah.
as the best I can.
Yeah.
And as long as I am being a giving person, a thoughtful person, a kind person, just always trying to be helpful any type of way,
Yeah.
whether I can or not. Um, I mean, I'll be honest. If you need some money, if I have it, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
don't, I apologize.
Hey, yeah.
It is what it is. I mean,
Listen, I'm trying to make
so
it too,
right,
okay?
yeah. So we in the same boat,
Yeah.
But it's but it's always kept me grounded.
Yeah.
It's always kept me grounded, and then it just, again, I just want to. It keeps me in the frame of mind of always being treating people right, not doing people wrong, and things will come back to you. And I've seen rewards from it.
Yeah.
Just people will just reward me with different things that I don't even remember that I've helped them some way in the past.
Mhm.
And what is I'll share a story that during the Super 16
Mhm.
games last year, I a previous year, it was a a a mother. She was going through some type of surgery,
Mm.
a couple of surgeries, and something happened where she couldn't bring her son,
Yeah.
and she couldn't make it, and things like that. So we didn't really see them again.
Yeah.
But I asked her for a cash app, and I sent her a couple of $100, just to,
Yeah.
and I'm not to toot my own horn,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's that gift of giving, or I had the means to give,
Yeah.
and it was from Super 16 All Star. So
Yeah.
we had the funds. I wanted to help, bless
Yeah.
her, and then that next year she came up to me. It was during after the games,
Mhm.
and she's like, "Coach Love, I don't know if you remember me, but I remember you blessed me with a couple $100 last year. That helped me so much." And I never saw her face,
Yeah. So you
and
didn't even
I don't know
know.
who it was.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
just said, you remember me? I don't want to thank you so much. I never got
Yeah.
to see you face to face, but so I want to thank you. And I think it may have been one of her cousins or nephews or
Mhm.
nieces that was playing in the game.
Yeah.
And so but her just coming up and just saying thank you, that's,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
And I shared that with my team after she walked off, and I was like, I remember her, and so it's just those things like that
Yeah.
those are the rewards you can get from it.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
sometimes it don't always come, like, you don't always know that
No,
somebody was blessed by that, but
correct,
that's not
right.
why we do it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We do it to be giving and to help people, and
Hmm.
so thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
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 cuz
that was a good experience for
listen,
me.
it'll
Yeah.
it'll come back around, I promise. Yeah, it'll come back around.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We kind of talked about the Super 16, but I just want to make sure we don't miss anything with this.
Okay,
So I'm going to ask this question
okay,
just to make sure. What was the vision behind creating the Super 16, and what gap did you see in Oklahoma sports that made you say, we got to do this?
okay. So the gap was just the perspective of
Hmm.
most college recruiters or colleges. They look at Florida, Texas, and California,
Hmm.
and so those are the three big states, and some sound, Georgias and all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
so, it's like Oklahoma is one of the last places that people are going
Yep.
to look for talent.
Yep.
And so um, I was the same way with my kids, and Bones was the same way with his.
Hmm.
And so that was just, we know we have the athletes.
Hmm.
How can we get more visibility?
Yeah.
And that was the gap,
Yeah.
the visibility of our athletes in Oklahoma. And so that showcase, the Super 16 All-Star Games showcases um, on average 120 kids for that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 27th grade girls, and then 27th grade boys, and you got 8th grade and 8th grade, vice
Yeah.
versa. Then we have a fan fave game with another big group of kids. So it's like, okay, if a coach is here, he's gonna see somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, we do want to work on streaming it,
Yeah.
so
That's what I was going to
coaches,
ask you. Yeah.
so streaming it, so it can even increase increase the visibility
Yeah.
for even more athletes. So um, that's in the works. Maybe we can get some sponsors, or
Yeah.
something like that that'll
Right
come
there.
come around.
Right there, the camera. Hey,
Yeah.
he needs sponsors.
Yes, I
Tell
need
him.
Super 16. We need sponsors. We need streaming
Tell him
services
that part.
that are willing to help our Oklahoma athletes, and
Yes.
to I don't want to say little or nothing, but to a small amount. So yeah,
Just a pinch,
just a little
y'all.
bit. Yeah, just a
Just
pinch.
a
Yeah.
little. Come on.
So yeah.
Well, hopefully somebody will bless the pockets and
Right.
we can
Right.
get that going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to naming the best of the best,
Mhm.
how do you and your team make those decisions? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, I feel like this is a little biased, but I'm not gonna say nothing.
So and I'll tell you. So the first few years, we just went by word of mouth,
Yeah.
and so there were kids that we didn't know,
Yeah.
and we got kids that came up and I was like, okay, I don't know who told us this. They was
Stop. Okay, keep
hey,
going. Yep. Yep. Yep.
so but we here to help.
Yeah.
We trying to help.
Yeah.
If they're not good, we would tell them, okay, this is what you need to work on.
Yeah.
Let's get it going. But
Yeah.
um, as the years went on, we realized, because you said,
Yeah.
hey, it's a little biased, is because sometimes it's who you know.
Yeah.
And then so we tried our best to start doing combines in different parts of Oklahoma.
Got
We've
you.
been to Tulsa, Stillwater. I tried to get some places in Enid, Ardmore, Ada. We went to different places where we can see the vast majority of the kids hold a
Yeah.
combine in that area.
Right.
And our team, we would evaluate them there, and
Mhm.
then we would let them know if we're going to invite them to the main
big
event. Yes.
Okay. Mhm.
And so usually we have about 3 to 4 evaluators that can tell you, okay, they're just good enough. They're good enough to come to the final combine,
Got you.
to compete with everybody, all the final the finalists from each area.
Right.
Bring them all to one location, and then okay, who's you're tops in this area. Can you hoop against this girl in Tulsa?
Yeah.
From Tulsa,
Yeah.
And so, and now at the final combine, and we started doing this past few years, where I think I want to say at least 10 high school coaches.
Okay.
I mean, we would have seats along the sidelines,
Mhm.
and evaluating the athletes as they
Got
as
you.
they're performing.
Mm-hmm.
And so each evaluator will rank their who they thought was the best.
Yeah.
Now, depending on the votes, how they tallied up, that determined the top 20.
Got you. Okay.
So if I'll rank the kid, okay, this kid was my number one. He got 20 points
Mm-hmm.
out of the 20 kids. It
Mm-hmm.
went from 20 points all the way down to 1 point.
Yeah.
And whoever got most votes,
That's
that's
who
how
we
we did
go.
it.
Okay.
So it's right now. So nowadays it's not just about who you know.
Yeah.
It's 10 different coaches for boys and girls, and they based on how they vote, and it's not about who you know. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, this kid, he can do this. Okay, he's kind of in the middle of the pack. I give him I rank him number 10.
Yeah.
And it's that's kind of how we do it now. And I owe that to Coach Jennifer Douglas.
Okay.
And
Yes.
she's, of
El
course,
Reno.
she's
Mm-hmm.
a 2-time,
Yeah.
well, she's won
Champ
another championship as an
last year.
assistant coach too. So
Oh yeah, that's right. Midwest
Midwest
City.
City, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And but we came up, well, she did that voting system, that calculation, the evaluation system, and so we've been using that for the
Yeah.
last few years.
Smart.
So yeah. So
Good job,
so
Jennifer.
trying to get away from the bias and this
Yeah.
and that,
Yeah. Yeah.
they know this person, and I'm
Yeah.
no, okay.
Yeah. Because
Almost every year there are kids in there that I've never seen before, and they come and they beat out the kids that made it the previous year. I'm
Okay.
like, that's
See, I may have to come because I haven't been in. Oh God, we
Since
talked
your da-
about
yeah, yeah.
since my daughter. Oh
Yeah.
geez, that was a long time ago. So I like that because now it's not that. It's not about
Yeah.
who knows who. It won't feel biased, and
Right.
so
And
great
some people
job.
didn't know that. So,
Yeah. So it's
So-
good that you put it out there. Now y'all
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And,
So yep.
let me
Go ahead.
finish.
Yep.
And so we try to keep it as minimal cost as possible,
Got you.
from $10 to $20. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know some athletes and some parents will pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars
Yes.
to go to a camp
Yep.
outside of the state and for a write up or something like that.
Mhm.
But
Are they still doing that?
I believe so. I believe
Oh
so.
my
But
God.
and I'm not knocking it. It's just, why not pay $10 to $20 to
Yeah.
just get an evaluation?
Yeah.
And believe it or not, and I still wonder how I've done it, but I will have several emails come in to me and say, "Hey, what about my kid? He was number 20." So we take pictures of them, and when I see the picture, okay, yes, they didn't drive the ball well. He didn't shoot the ball well, but he
Got
played
you.
great defense, and I remember
Yeah.
just from evaluating them from that. And I also have from the sheets of the evaluations from the evaluators themselves. They were great off the dribble. They shot well, great defense.
Yeah.
And so I put all that information together and give it to the parents if they ask for it.
Yeah.
So give them things they can work on. So just give them the best tools. And for $20, you get recruiting tips, you get all evaluations.
You
get,
getting a lot for 20. I don't know where you can go and get nothing for $20 no
yeah.
more when it comes to sports.
Yeah, exactly,
Like everything
exactly.
is so expensive now, which is crazy.
Oh my goodness.
And so $20 is amazing because I remember paying thousands of dollars
Yes.
to travel,
Yeah.
to go get those write-ups, all of the things. And so the fact that y'all are still doing that, if somebody wanted to donate to pay for some of the kids' spots, how would they reach you?
Well, you just email me. You can email me at super16allstars.com
Okay.
for that portion of it. That's that's it.
Okay.
Just say if I want to sponsor a kid or sponsor a uniform or whatever, just however they can help. I'll give them a list.
Yeah.
Have a list of things they can help with. So
listen, they loving on the babies, y'all. Come on. Listen, I'm trying to help you out, sir.
Yeah.
Let me ask this. When is the next Super 16 All-Star event?
It's going to be in April.
Okay.
And it's normally, we've moved it to April because a lot of we're trying to stay away from summer basketball, and we try to stay away from school basketball, even though we want to take it back to school ball because we got to use their school uniforms as the jerseys, but we want to get back to that. But it's hard for former players to come back because they're also in basketball season in their colleges and stuff like that. So when season is over, it's right after season is over, state tournament and all that stuff, we
get into it.
So it's right in April. So
okay. All right, let's get into Rock Podcast.
Okay.
Listen. Okay, so
So,
I watch. I'm super proud of what you're doing and
mhm,
just you blowing up, sir. These athletes and stuff. I'm
man.
like, dang, he kid. Well, listen, I
Yeah.
should have played in high school or college or something. I
That's
did play in high school. I should have played in college. But
yeah.
anyway, no, just your connections and what you're doing, just being able
Mhm,
to just share the information that y'all are to help other athletes, especially young athletes coming up
yeah.
and showing what it
Mhm,
takes to be at that level,
yeah.
right? That's a big
Yeah.
deal. So tell me, what was the why behind Rock Podcast?
Um, so, you know, the original brand is Recruit Oklahoma.
Right.
And so that initiative just came about. I just wanted to, do a brand of shirt or some gear to raise money to put into the Super 16 because
Yeah.
that's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
I do want to put more money into like doing my, the football version of it, and then so whatever other sports. I thought about softball. My daughter's a softball player,
Yep.
and I want to kind of spread it around, do that. So I stumbled upon someone, I forgot, David Shands, that's his name, that he's a podcaster.
hmm
And he said, man, if you want to get your brand out there, start doing a
Yeah.
podcast. So I'm like,
Listen.
okay, well, cool.
Listen.
Is it-
Yes.
so he said, so cool. And so then I thought to myself, okay, what I'm gonna do a podcast
Yeah.
podcast about? So I was like, okay, I'm into sports,
Yep.
and I know so many people that.
hmm
So it goes back to that golden rule,
hmm
being doing
Doing
do unto
unto
others
others
as,
and you will know
yeah.
them to do unto you.
And
Yep.
so I've always been that person where I've built so many relationships by just saying, like, what's up, man? I
Yeah.
mean, even against the Sooners, I have so many friends that are rivals, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and just building those relationships with all the people that I know. And of course, they're people, they know people, then they know
Yeah.
people, and they will easily give me a number to
hmm
this Heisman Trophy winner
Yeah.
or this Big 12 Athlete of the Year, or I mean, just people like that.
Listen, if you
So,
want to give me a number to a Heisman Trophy, no, I'm joking.
okay, I got a few. I
I'm
got a few.
joking. I'm joking. I'm
I got to
joking.
have them on my show first now.
Yeah, right.
No,
Okay, well,
no,
let's go there
no,
first. Then
no,
come over
no.
here.
I got you. I got you. I got you though. I got you. But from there, I saw a a um a website that called
Mm,
Support Black Colleges,
mm,
and then that sparked the idea of Support Oklahoma Athletes.
yeah,
And so by doing that brand and selling, trying to push that brand out there, um, and pushing that together with the Rock
yeah,
podcast, which I mean, again, just knowing so many people and having so many connections, coaches, friends, teammates, and that just helped me
yeah,
with the initial. I mean, my first one was Michael McDaniel because
yeah.
I played with him in high school.
He's so funny.
Yeah, I know he was on your show.
He's so
Or-
funny. Anyway, okay, yes.
yeah, Mike and Pastor Reverend Michael.
Reverend Michael.
Michael was
Michael,
my
Michael.
so and then I had Leroy Combs and
Yeah.
Leroy because and then Patrick Cudjoe and Tommy Griffin.
These are like
So
legends,
yeah,
like people you hear about, and you like, wait, what? I heard my
right,
daddy
yeah,
talking about all these people, and I'm like, what? Who
yeah.
are they?
So yeah, like Tommy Griffin was my coach. I saw
Yeah.
Blake and Taylor Griffin when they were little boys.
hmm
So it's and I'm trying my darndest to get Blake Griffin on here.
Hey, listen, Blake.
So yeah, yeah, Coach Griffin. Hey, give me
Yeah.
the contact.
Hey.
So, but no, that's how it came about. And
Yeah.
then, of course, the premise of it is still the same. Is celebrating the icons and legends of Oklahoma
Yeah.
because, like you said, they've been through it. They've gone through it. They know the battle. They know the stresses, the struggles, the ups and the downs, and just hearing each athlete's story is just it's just cool to hear.
Yeah.
And
You get to see a different side.
a different side of
Yeah.
a lot of different perspectives, and when every person has their own fan base,
Yeah.
like their own fans. Like I
Yep.
recently did Jason White, and that podcast is like
Blew
it's
up.
still going blowing up, and but there are so many people. Of course, they were OU fans,
Yeah.
but now they're connected with my podcast now.
hmm
So now anything else that I put out, they can see.
Yeah.
I've also done some former OU legends and current OU players and stuff like that. So just building a brand that way and
Yeah.
just putting those stories out there, and it's fun.
It is.
It's cool to talk.
Man, I love this thing.
Yeah,
It's
it's fun to listen to the stories, and then just the story could go either way,
Mhm.
throughout the interview, and just hearing the stories and different perspectives,
Yeah.
and just bottom line, celebrating Oklahoma excellence and athletes, and just doing it that way has been. And right now, I have not seen anybody else do it,
Mhm.
and I've seen some that just focus specifically on OU,
A
on Tulsa.
specific
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Um,
you have a wide range of athletes
Yeah,
coming in.
and sports,
And
not just football.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
basketball, softball. I'm trying to get John Smith wrestling on here.
Yeah.
All Olympian, All American. He went to Old State, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Who is your like if I could get them, like you dream about getting them on the podcast.
Well, man, there's a lot. Of course, I want Blake. I want
Yeah.
Blake and Taylor on here. I want to get, for the younger kids, I want to get Trey Alexander back on here.
Okay. Yeah.
So I know he's just straight busy all the
Yeah.
time. The Oklahoma people like Lindy Waters and Trey Alexanders, and
Mhm.
those are the younger generations.
Yeah.
But I would love to get like I said, Blake,
Yeah.
Trey Young on here.
Yeah.
Uh, God, there's so many. I mean, NFL. You had the Sterling Shepherds, and you have God dog, I forgot the name. I went blank, but this
Yeah.
is
I got you.
there's so many. I got a whole list,
List of people like
just notes
yeah.
with a check, like with a circle by them. So as soon as I get them, I just just check them off, and
Come on.
I just hundreds of athletes
Yeah.
that I can think of right at the top. So
Yeah. I believe
yeah,
in putting it out there and it's gonna happen.
yeah.
So just keep
So
on. We gonna wish and hope with you,
yeah,
friend.
and
Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that expanding and being able to partner with Dick's Sporting Goods.
Hmm. That's where I was going.
Okay,
So
yeah.
that's a big deal. So talk about
Yes.
that.
So that was kind of a fluke deal, because what my
Okay.
initial thought was to get into a sports restaurant, to
Gotcha.
because people are there to watch games,
Games and stuff.
but
Yeah.
to have a celebrity or an Oklahoma legend or a
Hmm.
current Oklahoma athlete in an area where there's food and everybody's watching it,
Yeah.
whatever. That was my initial thought. I got turned down by Buffalo. No, yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings. And
Don't say that.
okay, I'm sorry. Yeah,
It ain't worth it.
yeah, okay, yeah.
We ain't
A
gonna give the
prominent
yeah.
wing place.
So
No, yeah. So they turned me down. But actually, the manager that I talked to, he was like, "Oh man, I love this. I mean, I'd love to do this, but
yeah.
corporate, blah."
Of course. Yeah.
And so then I went to Top Golf. I don't know why, but I went there just to try it. Went to a few other places around that area in the north side, and passing by Dick's, the new Dick's House of Sport,
Yeah.
and they just built it. I said,
Let me just
this be cool.
yeah.
And the funny thing was, I went in there and talked to a manager, and I said, "Hey, would you guys be open to doing a sports podcast, a weekly sports podcast?" And they was like, "Oh yeah, we got something like that, but it's just kind of just once a year."
Yeah.
And as it was actually a friend of mine, but he said they do it like a yearly preview deal with sports.
Okay.
And so just once a year for them. And I was like, "Well, I'm talking about
Every week.
every week."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, okay, well, let me put you in touch with this woman, and who was over our HR or marketing strategist." And the name looks so familiar. Come to find out, I knew her dad.
Oh wow.
so I composed my Chat GPT. I
Yeah.
got on
Come
that. I
on, come on,
composed my
chat.
email. Chat GPT. I composed my email to her. This is what I want to do. This is what I like to do. Here's
Yeah.
how it could benefit both of us.
Yeah.
And threw her dad's name in there. That kind of helped. And so, oh yeah, we love to research and do
Yeah.
it. And so I got a meeting with her like that next week, and they had to go through their legal process to
Hmm.
make sure and everything. So that took about a month, and I'm like, okay, I need to get some content put out, and I just continued to do them at John Marshall High School,
Okay.
where I was originally doing
Yeah.
them at. But that partnership, I started getting people, hey man, I see you at you
Mhm.
was that's
That's
cool.
dope.
Yeah, that's
That's
cool.
dope.
So,
Let
you
me
know,
ask you this
yeah.
because there's a lot of people that's sitting on an idea right now.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that have this fear, oh, they're not gonna
Hmm.
say yeah to that, or they're not. What would you say to them?
Hey, well, I would just say just perseverance. Just keep
Yeah.
trying. Just keep trying, and somebody's gonna say yeah, and all I can do is say no. I
Yeah.
mean, that's it. It's not gonna take anything out or away from you.
Yeah.
It may discourage some folks, but you know, you getting out there in the first place is a sign that you're a competitor. And
Mhm.
again, it comes back for me. It comes back to
Yeah.
athletics. Athletics for me, and being a competitor. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna get this. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get this.
Yeah.
And the more, and it didn't take it. It was one day worth of work because I went to
Mhm.
this spot, this spot, this spot, this spot, and the last spot I went to just happened to know the
Yeah.
person's father, and it worked out well. And man, but just perseverance and
Mhm.
consistency. Keep believing in that dream,
Yeah.
that goal or whatever mission you have.
Yeah.
Just do it, man.
That's good.
So
Cause
yeah,
listen, some people would have been like that first one. Okay, I'm done.
yeah, right,
I'm
right.
over it. I'm not doing no more.
Forget this, man. Yeah, no, yeah.
So that is dope within itself.
Hmm.
The fact that your index
Hmm.
is a big deal, and so it may just seem like, oh, okay, I'm here,
Yeah,
whatever. But I truly believe it will lead to even more. So
that's the plan.
that
Yes,
hey,
that's the plan. I
listen,
receive it. I receive it.
I'm wishing it for you, bro.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
All right. So we're gonna switch
okay.
gears. We're gonna talk a little bit about family.
Hmm.
You said that you keep the main thing, family first,
Hmm.
right? What does that look like when balancing your business and podcasting and just life in general?
Oh man, it's I've been coaching for football at least 25, 30 years.
Wow.
And uh my wife, she gets on to me, sometimes, and well, a lot of times, but she will get on to me, and you do this too much, do this. I said, oh, I understand, I know. But so during football season, and then comes basketball season, and if it's not that, I'm going to a game or something like
Yeah.
that. And so um you know I try to invite her to a lot of things.
Hmm.
If it's not our kids
Yeah.
and I'm going to watch somebody else, I'll shoot out an invitation to it. I hope she comes, but sometimes she'll surprise me and she'll
Yeah.
come with me. But I know that trying to balance that is it's important because, and we've talked about this before, but there's some things that I've like canceled and pushed away, pushed to the
Mhm.
side, and just because this is more important,
Yeah.
and family events or um, just things of those natures. Like, I mean, like, of course, like graduations and,
Right. Of course.
traveling
Yeah.
and going to, I know one year we went to Ireland
Really?
to, so Navy plays Notre Dame,
Okay.
like in Ireland.
That's cool.
And
Yeah.
so the only reason, well, not the only reason, the way we were able to go is because her job funded the trip for us, and like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So um I had no problem
Yeah.
telling my coach, my coaching staff,
Hey, won't be there.
I'm finna miss this game. It was the first game of the season. I was like, I
Yeah.
have no problem missing this game to be with my family in Ireland. So and that was a cool deal.
Yeah.
Then I tried to coach, so I'm in Ireland 3 a.m. in the morning in the hotel lobby trying to get reception, trying to watch the plays on my phone and say, okay, y'all need to do this.
Oh my
Y'all need to do
God.
this. So I'm still trying to, I'm with y'all in spirit. So I was still
Yeah.
trying to coach,
Yeah.
and I was the offensive coordinator. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm trying
Oh
to do this.
yeah.
But so, but I was trying to watch film and try to coach at the same time. But I'm up 3 o'clock in the morning, head hurting because I ain't had no sleep. But, uh, but I think, the faith, it's one of those deals where I'll tell you another story where my oldest son had
Mhm.
a scholarship offer to play at Army, West
Okay.
Point.
Okay. Yeah.
And we go on a
Mhm.
recruiting trip. And uh, was that Cameron's or Kaylin's? Where,
Y'all, by the way, his wife is in the
yeah, my wife
building.
was, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Yes,
Okay.
yes,
We
she's in here.
we going to her.
You know,
Our wife.
my, I'm gone blanking. Um, but I want to say it might have been Cameron's. But I
Okay.
had bottom line is we were at in New York,
Okay.
West Point,
Yeah.
and so on a recruiting trip. Now that weekend, I have a major basketball tournament that's going on in the city, so
Okay.
I have to miss it, and so I have Bones running it, and all the people that I have in place
Yeah.
to do it. So, but I'm the point of contact when coaches need to reschedule or
Mm.
and or I pull out
Yeah.
or do
Yeah.
whatever. So I'm the main scheduler. So when I tell you my phone died on the way up to New York, okay? So I'm stressing. I don't know what to do. I'm stressing. Okay. I'm like, okay, put it in. We got to find some rice. Just put it in some rice. I don't know what happened to it. I'm trying everything. So I get to a point where it's like I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
But I figured that was God's way of telling me, sit down,
Disconnect.
disconnect,
Yes. Yeah.
be still, be with
Yep.
your family, and engage.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing, as we were leaving, rolling on the way back, phone turns back on.
That was God.
I'm like, what?
That
What the
was
phone? Yeah.
God.
Phone comes back on. No, I ain't got to go to Apple or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Just phone comes back on. And I'm like,
That was God.
so I get
Be
on it.
in the
Hey, man, how did it
moment,
go? How did it
sir.
go? Yeah, yeah. Be
Yeah.
in the moment. Yeah.
Be in the moment.
Yeah.
Listen, I had a similar situation.
Okay.
Last year, we went to Cancun.
Mm-hmm.
We're on a boat, okay? And I'm sitting like inside the boat. We're with for my daughter's
Mm-hmm.
senior trip. And my phone happens to be up on a towel by where Chow was, and he was kind of on the edge of the boat.
Okay.
And I was like, "Hey, hand me that."
That
Now
time. Oh,
this is
okay.
the second day,
Okay.
okay, into
Yeah.
this trip, okay.
Okay.
And if anybody know, they know I'm tied to my phone. Like my
Yes.
phone's
Yes.
sitting right here at this
Right.
moment,
Right.
right
Right.
now. And real estate is like
Absolutely.
I gotta continue. So literally, I say, "Chai, can you hand me that
That
towel?"
towel.
He does this, and all it was like slow
Slow motion.
motion. Everybody's looking.
No.
No, it goes
Yeah.
into the
The
ocean.
ocean. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
We there for another 5 days.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay, do I go to Apple
Did
somewhere?
you
Oh,
did you did you think about diving in there getting it?
I did. But the thing is, I don't play with the sharks and
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not
That's
playing
yeah.
with the
Sharks,
ocean.
phone.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can have it.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I really believe that was like God saying, "Hey,
Yeah. Yeah. He has a way of
listen,
look get
get it
engaged.
together,
Yeah.
get it together." So that's a good
Yeah.
one. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Happy wife, happy life. You've been married for 26 years.
Yeah.
Wife,
Yeah.
is that correct?
Is it 27? 99?
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
26 years. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I got it.
Yes. Good job,
Yeah.
sir. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the greatest lesson marriage has taught you about humility in partnership?
Humility and partnership. Um, I think the bottom line for all of it is communication.
Yeah.
And although I communicate with a lot of different people, my communication has to be on point with my
Yeah.
family, my
Yeah.
wife, my kids, and stuff like that. Um, so it carries over into other things in life.
Hmm.
Um, partnership is just man, it's just you just gotta execute. I mean, I'm always in sports mode,
Yeah.
so it's like you gotta execute the plays like it's drawn up. And there's no playbook for
No, it's
for
not.
marriage and partnership
Lord.
and stuff.
No.
And so you gotta pull out the audibles. You gotta be
Hmm.
able to call and do what's right. If I make the wrong call, and she'll tell you I made the wrong call.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
got to take a time out and got to come out of it and with another play. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of focus and attention is needed. And when sometimes when I'm lacking, and I'm guilty of it,
Hmm.
sometimes things are not happening around the house, or um, attention to my wife and
Yeah.
attention to things that my kids need. You know, it's there'll be subtle things like my kids will say like a little comment, "Oh,
Hmm.
you wasn't at this or this, that, or
Mm.
whatever."
Yeah.
Then that'll hit you right
Yeah.
where it needs to hit you. And um, so yeah, um, it takes a lot of effort.
Effort. That's it.
The effort,
Effort.
and of course the communication. So,
Yeah.
and I try.
Yeah.
I'm not the best husband.
Yeah.
I
Listen.
try to be, but I'm just trying to make it, and trying to be successful with all the extracurricular things. But she'll remind me I need to be more successful at with the house, with the
Yeah.
home, and so. But she is one of my biggest fans. So
Come on.
she pushes me and say, I support you on this, I support you on that,
Yeah.
and you got this. Um and sometimes I get a, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's more good than bad. And but that's with every marriage is or partnership, and whatever you have going on, that's what it takes.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Let me ask you this. I'm gonna dive in a little bit
Okay.
deeper because we didn't really kind of talk about this.
Okay.
Did you have your father growing up?
No.
Okay, so a man that didn't have that and having to do it without that example, how has
Mhm.
that been?
So I'll tell you two things. So no, my biological father was not there.
Okay.
Now, he was, I can count on the many times, on how many, I can count on one hand how
Mhm.
many times that I saw him and how many times he was drunk.
Mm.
So every time that I saw him, like I mentioned before, that I was raised by my grandmother,
Mhm.
and at my grandma's, he would come over to visit sometimes, and he was drunk,
Mm.
and never really got a chance to just go spend time with him.
Yeah.
But he was either in jail or intoxicated when I saw him.
Mm.
So now, that was one of my main motivations to this day, that I have not been drunk. I have not
Hmm.
smoked weed.
Come on.
He was a bit of a domestic abuser or domestic violence,
Mhm.
and he hit my mother one time,
Yeah.
and it was she was done.
Yeah.
And so my mom told me that later on in life, but I didn't know that when I was growing up.
Right.
And so um, he was that was he played a big part in my life,
Yeah.
uh, in a positive way,
Yeah.
I'll say. So to never have been drunk, and you can ask any of my friends, and they will say, Sean don't drink. He ain't never been drunk. Don't smoke. I've been
Yeah.
around it, but just never partook in it. So,
Yeah.
and but I did have a father figure later on. His name is Robert Stinnett.
Okay.
He's a retired lieutenant colonel from Fort Sill. He's had several books written about him. He's a very prominent man. Graduated from Prairie View
Come
A&M.
on. Yeah.
He's on the board of. I mean, so he's a very distinguished gentleman, and he's still. We talk every now and then,
Yeah.
just to. Um, but he was a part of my life growing up
Mhm.
through maybe middle school, and up to high school, and we stayed in touch through college and stuff like that. But he being around him, he had three sons, two daughters. Um, yeah, three, and they taught me a lot about sports.
Yeah.
It was through them that I learned how to play football and all that stuff,
Gotcha.
and being tough, because they were all good athletes. And then he taught me about, I mean, he was a great cook, so he taught me he didn't teach me how to cook, but he taught me etiquette, and
Yeah.
being at the table, and just respecting, women, and
Yeah.
doing those things. So I did have that, not constantly, but it was enough to make a difference in my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And so I can't say that I grew up without a father, because he was that father figure for
Yeah.
me. And so he lived in Lawton, or he still
Okay.
does. And so we would go back and forth
Gotcha.
to Lawton, and he would come here and just be a part of a lot of things. And so, but but that initial, by
Pushed you.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
I'm always curious, like when people don't necessarily have that constant
hmm,
example, right?
yeah,
How do they become the better version? How do they become great men and women?
yeah,
And so I always think there's that type of motivation that you don't want to be like
right,
what you
exactly,
didn't have,
yes,
right? And
yeah,
so I just
yeah.
had to ask that.
Yeah, and also I wanted to be a a although I'm not perfect, I wanted to be a good role model for my sons,
Yeah.
and show them how to treat women, how to just be
Yeah.
courteous, how to be polite, how to not even just sports. I
Yeah.
mean, I taught them how to play sports,
Yeah.
and mom was the brains of the group. So that's why I had one go to West Point, one go
Come
to
on.
a Naval Academy, and then my daughter, she's up there. She's a Southwestern Christian playing
Yeah.
softball. So they all have the academics, and so we tag team, and I would think that we've raised some well-rounded kids, and
Listen, I
I just
agree.
yeah.
I agree.
So
I mean, no, that's big. So
yeah,
kudos to both of y'all
yeah,
for
we
that one.
appreciate it. Yeah,
Kudos to both of y'all. All right. So you've already mentioned your kids are thriving. You got one in the Navy, one in the Army, correct?
So actually, okay.
Yep.
How much time again?
Nope. Go ahead. Go
so, so,
ahead. Listen.
so my oldest son, he received a scholarship to play at West Point. So
Okay.
now he went for a year. He went to the prep school and then was going to go into a direct admission into West Point to play, but he had suffered some injuries, some
Got you.
ailments, and kind
Mm-hmm.
of homesick or whatever. He said, "Dad, I want to come back."
Got you.
And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like, what are you
no,
doing?
you should have
Yeah.
passed up a West Point
Yeah. Yeah.
education. And I said, okay, if you really need it, mom, mama's, you come on back, baby. Come, it's
It's
just
always the
okay.
mamas.
Like, no, no. And so it was, I said, okay, you cannot come, you're not coming back here without a plan.
Yeah.
And when he came home, he had immediately rolled into OSU OKC.
Okay.
I think it was a semester or so, and then enrolled in OSU at Stillwater,
Okay.
Oklahoma State. So he got his bachelor's degree from there.
Come on.
Then from there, he met his fiance. Now fiance is getting ready to get married.
Okay.
He met his fiance at Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
Now when she gets her she was getting her master's at Oklahoma State. So now when they both graduate at the same time, he's getting a bachelor's, she's getting her master's. They both go to Tennessee State. She's getting a doctorate.
Come.
So,
What they do, clacky?
yeah.
Mm.
So she's getting a doctorate. So
Right.
he's like, well, since I'm here, I might as well get my
Yeah.
master's. I might got So he got
Might
his
as well.
master's.
Yeah.
So he got his master's. So they both got a doctorate and a master's from Tennessee State. And so that was his path. Now, my second son, Cameron, went to the United States Naval Academy. He
Okay.
got a scholarship. He had several scholarships to play D1 football. He initially was going to go to Charlotte 49ers in that's North Carolina, right? Charlotte.
Don't ask me. Listen.
And so that coaching staff got fired.
Oh, okay.
Whole staff. So his second choice was the Naval Academy. So,
Okay.
and he just graduated. Well, it was last May. So now he is in Japan,
Wow.
serving he's an officer now.
Come
So
on.
and what really made me proud, because I work at Tinker Air Force Base.
Mm-hmm.
So what really made me proud, we were driving on the base to get his CAC, common access card,
Mm-hmm.
for something. And when we pull up to the gates, to show our IDs to get in, he showed the guy his card and they saluted him.
Oh,
But I don't know if I
listen.
did it right,
I
so
don't
I'm
know
sorry,
what-
y'all.
I
They
think it's
saluted
this
him,
one. I
and I said, that's my boy.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we drove on, and then but yeah, so he's now an officer in the Navy, and he has to put in 5 years before he can stay in or go out and
Right.
do what he wants to do. But and then of course my baby girl is she is playing softball. This is her sophomore year
Mm-hmm.
at Southwestern Christian University, and believe it or not, I'm very proud of my boys.
Yeah. Uh-oh. You about to get yourself in trouble.
No,
Okay.
well, maybe, but my daughter, she has been through a lot this past year, and it has been so amazing to see. I would say the average young lady has not gone through what she's gone through in the past year,
Yeah.
and it's been very man, I don't know the word. It's just I'm speechless to say how proud I am of her, because she could have quit. She could have
Yeah.
stopped playing. She could have gone a different route. But she's now going into her second year of softball. She just had a few scrimmages with her team this year, but she's getting back into it, and she's had some injuries. Like I said, there were
Just
many
resilient.
many reasons that she could have stopped
Yeah.
playing. And I told her the other day, I said, I'm just very proud, because not many athletes get a chance to even get to the next level to play any sport.
Yeah.
And so be thankful for that. And then I told her, you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it. And
Yeah.
so that right there it just made me so proud to see her and see what she's doing. So 3 for 3 in scholarships
Yeah.
for my babies and for our babies. And because without the academics, they probably wouldn't. I'm gonna tell you, my first year,
their mama.
yeah, because my first year at Oklahoma State, I almost did not meet her because I was almost kicked out of Oklahoma State with my GPA as it was, and yeah, I got put on academic probation, and then if I had another semester like I had, I wouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sitting right here.
Yeah. Listen,
So,
well, thank God.
yeah,
Okay.
yes, thank God.
Listen, thank God.
Yeah.
Well, no, what I thought you was about to say is she's your favorite, basically. I thought
Well,
you was going down
yeah.
there, and I was about to say, you about to get yourself in trouble, sir. Hold
No,
on.
then I keep them all on the same. They all think they their favorites.
Yeah,
They my
yeah.
favorites, but yeah.
Listen, my
get it,
kids
yeah.
say my middle one's my favorite. Anyway, that's a whole nother story because we go on and on. I'm like, y'all, I don't have favorites. I
Right.
just love y'all. Y'all all different.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I love y'all different ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in different ways. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, from OSU football to arena ball,
Mhm.
Tulsa Yard Dogs, right?
Tulsa Talons,
Talons.
and then OKC Yard Dogs.
Okay.
Yes. So two different plays. Yeah.
What lessons from the field did you still carry into? What lessons from the field do you still carry into your daily life now?
It's still competition.
Yeah.
For me, that's one thing that most. I mean, competitors want to win.
Yeah.
And you try. If I turn everything into a competition, I'm gonna try to win it.
Yeah.
So
every time.
So whether it's being the #1 sports podcast in Oklahoma, that's what I'm gonna
Come
shoot
on.
for. If it's I mean anything that I try, anything that I do, I want to be that top dog.
Mhm.
And so I think that's one part of it as far as being a competitor. But another lesson that I've learned is you do have to have a team of people around you to win. So you can't do it by yourself.
No.
And for so many years, and I still try to do things by myself.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing my podcast.
Yeah.
Like they will come and do the soundboard. My wife and my daughter, they'll come do do ear check, mic checks and stuff. But I'll press play. I'll do record and then go home and edit and do all the shorts and all that stuff.
So you doing all that by yourself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sean.
No. So let me tell you what somebody told me the other day. So it was a former coach, and he called me and asked me, "Hey man, I love your podcast, man. You're doing a great job." I was like, "Man, I appreciate it. I have to humbly thank you." And he said, "So how many people you got working for you?"
You like nobody.
I said, "No, just me and my wife and my daughter. Just they help every now and then." And it's like he said, "Man." No, I ain't gonna say what he said, but I thought you had a team of people, man. Man, you're doing some great quality work, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I appreciate it. I can be better, but
Yeah.
But it seems to be great for everybody that watches it, and I'm thankful, but I still want it to be better.
Listen,
Yes.
sir. Hear me, okay?
Yes.
Just because you can do everything doesn't mean you need to do everything, okay?
I know.
I understand trying to save the coins. I get it,
Yeah.
okay? But you need to get you a Taylor and an Amy,
Yeah.
okay?
So me and Taylor talked.
Okay.
Yes. So I get. Yeah, we talked so we got a plan in place.
Okay,
So,
I'm just saying, there's no way
Yeah.
that I would. Okay, let me take that back, because I would find a way.
Yeah, you find. Yeah.
I would find a way because I really wanted to do this. But
Yeah.
I just look at the quality and what is going out, right? I can't do that. The little videos I do, I'll be like, okay, that was cute.
It's
That
cute.
ain't Taylor,
That's
but that
cute.
was
Yeah.
cute,
Yeah. So and I have a little background, and so my degree from Oklahoma State was graphic design marketing.
Sir. But just because though.
Well, I'm just saying this instead of trying to find and hire people to start it off.
I get it.
I can do this. So,
And granted, I did start with nobody, so I understand that.
Yep,
I
yep.
do. So for any business out there, I want to be very clear. You do gotta. Sometimes it do take just you. You
Yeah.
gotta start with just you.
Right.
I get it. But sir,
But that's what I was saying.
okay.
that lesson from the field is you need a team of people. And
Thank you.
so
Okay.
I've learned that.
Okay.
And my Super 16 team of people, my squad, they will tell you, Sean, you need to stop doing this. Let me do this.
Yeah.
Sean, stop doing this. Let me do this. But I wanna make sure it's this way, and I wanna make sure it's that way. No, Sean, stop doing this.
Yeah.
so
It's that control,
so
and you know you're going to do it the way it should be done,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's going to take me more time to train somebody
Mm-hmm.
to do what I need done
Right, right,
versus
right.
me just doing it. I get it.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I
yeah.
understand. But sir, now you
Yeah, I
have
know.
arrived.
Yeah.
You can get you a tailor.
I'm getting there.
Okay?
So
Okay.
I get some more sponsors and stuff like
There
that.
we
That's
go.
gonna help.
Hey,
Yeah.
sponsors. Okay. He said Dick's,
Yeah.
everything. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
I'm trying to.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you said your legacy is to be remembered as a cool, kind, and helpful person.
hmm
Why is character more important to you than championships in this state of your life?
Man, so it's character goes. I mean, a long way.
Yeah.
Character, integrity, and I always tell my athletes that what you do in the dark, comes to light,
Yep.
or it's one of those things where why are you skipping that line instead of going to touch the line, and just
Mhm.
but when you continue to do it when nobody's watching, that's how you're going to be in life.
It'll
You're
show.
gonna it'll show.
Mhm.
It's gonna affect you in certain ways that you won't even really imagine, but
Yeah.
somebody else will see it and then be like, yeah, we'll go with the next guy. Or and again, I'll equate everything to sports. It's one of those things where how far will you go when you don't know where the line is? How
Mhm.
far will you push yourself?
Yeah.
Like how long will you run? I mean, it's one of those things where you have to push yourself. And if the character is not there, where you're not treating people right, where you're
Mhm.
not helping others, where open the door for elderly people,
Yeah.
or I mean, just simple stuff.
Yeah.
Open, just allowing somebody to go for, even if they're. I've had several occasions where people will not even say thank you when I open the door for them.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh
just one of
man.
those deals where I just want to trip them.
Yeah.
Why they walking in the door? I just want to trip them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
like, oh,
Like.
are you welcome?
Yeah.
Just yeah. But no, it's just it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
Um, but the character integrity is where you got to have that. It's what do you do when people aren't watching you?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not a perfect guy, but it's something that I try to instill in my kids first,
Yeah.
because I'm raising them, and then the athletes that I coach.
Yeah.
And so it's you want to be that dude that somebody can count on.
Mhm.
Like if coach asks you to do something, I'm expect you to run that route. I'm
Yeah.
expect you to be where you're supposed to be. I mean, you run off that pick screen and roll to. I need you to run that play.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just rambling. So that's
No,
kind
no,
of
you
that's
good. You good. Listen, this is
go
your
all,
platform to ramble, sir.
well,
This is your
well,
time.
yeah.
Okay.
We can go all day on that
Yeah,
though. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
All
yeah.
right. So, last question, maybe, because
Okay.
it may lead to something else. What advice would you give to young athletes today about navigating sports in a way that keeps them grounded in who they are? Because
Okay.
and this also, you think about NIL, you think
Yeah.
about all the things that's going on now
hmm
with sports. That's kind of where that
hmm
question is going.
It's so NIL is good. It has its pros and cons, of
Right.
course. Everything has pros and cons. And so I think initially, young athletes need to go where they're appreciated, where
Mm,
where the love is, where they're
yeah.
recruiting you, not just the money.
Right.
And
Mm.
some will offer you. I mean, nowadays, I wish I would have had the
Yeah.
opportunity back in
Change
the
your
back,
life.
right back in the day. Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten in trouble in class. I wouldn't have flunked out. No, well, I didn't flunk out, but I think the way they need to navigate it now is making sure, of course, have your grades initially so you can be recruited,
Yeah.
and then um, don't worry about all the money first. Okay, whatever they can provide for you, if you get a good vibe as far as relationships are concerned,
Yeah.
like if this is a cool coach that believes in you, talks to your parents,
Yeah.
um, asks how you are in class, how
Yeah.
and they talk to your counselors. Those are the guys, the coaches, and the people that really want to know who you are and how you act in
Yeah.
school. And yeah, the field comes secondary. And
Yeah.
so you have to have that in place first. The academics and the school environment, you have to have that in check. So if you have teachers saying, "Oh, he's a great kid, he's a great athlete, he does this, he does that," the administrators are, "Oh man, we love him so much," and you're in the door.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so athletes build that rapport with your administrators, your teachers, and all those stuff, and it helps.
Yeah.
And so, but from there, then you have to become s- um, socially, well, as far as like the social platforms, social media
Mhm.
platforms,
Mhm.
knowing how to communicate with coaches. That's one big thing that I saw that's a setback for inner city kids, and
Mhm.
that can't talk
Grammatical
grammatical,
errors,
yeah.
yeah,
And
punctuation,
I mean,
things
and you
like
don't have
that.
to be perfect,
Right.
but have somebody that, because I've helped a tons of kids just create a sentence. Coach, they'll ask me, "What
Mm.
do I say, coach?"
Yeah.
You know, and just help them out with that, and just start learning those things. Help. I mean, just use Chat GPT.
Right. Download it
Yeah,
now.
download it now. Yeah, I need a sponsorship from Chat
You're right. Listen, I've
GPT.
been asking for it, but here we are.
Yeah, but yeah, you can't fail. It's hard to fail right now
It
if you really want
man.
to, and you can compose a response to a coach in your tone of voice and
Yeah.
the way you talk, and um, but connecting with the coaches, connecting with um, those coaches on a personal platform or in a personal way,
Yeah.
that'll help you a long way. And then when they start presenting the NIL deals and stuff like that, I think that's when that's the final piece of the puzzle when
Yeah.
in choosing
Who you go with.
yeah, who you go with and stuff like that. So
I think it's
yeah.
hard for, especially you think about kids that come from a little bit of nothing, right?
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, I understand relationship is the biggest thing because if
Hmm.
you don't have that relationship,
Yeah,
just in any business, whatever,
right.
it makes things hard. And
Hmm.
so I've never been recruited. Okay. I
Hmm.
stopped playing in high school.
Okay.
So I didn't have the luxury of doing. Now listen, I could play.
Okay.
You need to have me on the podcast. I used to could play. I
Okay.
wasn't in college or nothing,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
could
Okay.
play.
Okay.
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 Back
I
in the
got you.
day. Okay. Don't
Okay.
ask me to dribble a ball now. It's
Okay. No,
it's
I'm
not
not.
like riding the bike,
No, okay.
okay? Not
No.
with me.
No.
Okay. But I'm just saying, like, I think the relationship is the biggest thing because these are the people that you're gonna be interacting with all the time. Now,
Right.
if you're going for just money, and again, I get it.
Hmm.
I get it. I
Yeah.
love the fact that our kids have that opportunity
Right.
to
Right.
make money. But I think honestly, that's a lot of the motivation
It
now.
is. Yeah.
And so, I hear people saying it's watering down the sport.
Hmm.
It's, people jumping and doing all these
Yeah.
things. And so I always try to think about somebody's situation and why they do what they
Right.
do, right?
Right.
But I love the fact that that opportunity is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Do you see it being taken away?
I don't see it being taken away. I think it'll be a possibility of it being more regulated,
Mm,
where you can't get millions of dollars unless you do something first.
got
Like
you.
some kids are get a like a they'll get money before they even set foot on the field,
Yeah.
and that's again that's one of the final decisions as far as picking a school or whatever if they're offering that to you.
Yeah.
But like you said, athletes have different reasons why they move around and jump around or whatever, or why they stay. But again, it comes back to the personal
Yep.
relationships. Like I don't know how long ago it was, but there was a receiver from Texas, one of the best. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he had NIL offers from other schools. They were
Mhm.
offering more than what Texas was giving him.
Hmm.
But he was like, "No, I'm here. I'm here with my
Mm-mm.
dogs. I'm
Yeah.
here. I've made a commitment to this coaching staff. Now, if they leave, that's it's
Different.
different,
Yeah.
And so, and I think that's like I said, there's a pros and cons to things like that. The transfer portal and all that stuff. But it's I think the bottom line is building relationships and making sure that relationship is good. Go where you're loved. Go where
Yeah.
you recruited. Don't try to wait on that final offer from this school. And all the smaller schools may have given you offers, and you're waiting on this one big one, and it never comes. And
And you
now,
done missed.
yeah, those are all
Mm.
gone now.
Yep.
And so, just take what they give you. And I tell that I equate everything, almost everything to sports. But I tell my quarterbacks when they're looking down the field, a receiver is open. If they're going to give it to you, give it to you. Take what
Yeah.
they give you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
um,
Don't wait on that perfect
yeah,
or what you think is perfect.
take what
Yeah.
they give you. We'll get down the field, we'll score,
Yeah.
and just like basketball,
Yep.
if they playing you a certain way, you be smart enough to take them off the dribble, go left, and
Yeah.
finish with the left. Take what they give you. So,
Yep. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Sir, did we
Yes,
put
sir.
it all on the table? Did we? Is
Yeah.
there anything that we need to touch on?
Man, it's so many things, but I think my brief life story was, it's what it is. This is who I am. Um, this is how I am how I've been.
Yeah.
And just a laid back guy trying to help everybody in the world.
Yeah. Listen.
Like my wife was like, "No, you did help me at home,
Right.
so
That part.
you help me with the
She
dishes,
said
so
hello
yeah,
right here.
yeah."
Focus here.
So yeah, I try to stay as grounded as I can in um, faith and just being a nice person. Just try to help as many people as I can.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, again,
yeah,
I appreciate you.
yeah.
I
I
thank you
appreciate.
for being here.
Yeah,
And I just see the work that you're putting into it, and I know the grind. You got a full time job, you got family, you
yeah,
got all the things, and then you have your creative outlet.
yeah.
And a lot of people think this stuff just comes easy. It doesn't. It's a
Mm-mm.
lot of work that comes behind this too. And so I understand that, and I respect you even more
I
for
appreciate
what
it.
you're doing. And so if you're looking for him, it is Rock Podcast. You can
Yeah,
find him on social media.
Rock podcast.
All
Yep,
right.
yep.
YouTube,
Instagram, YouTube, mainly
Spotify.
Spotify,
Yep.
Apple Music.
Yeah.
Just Google Rock Podcast,
Yeah.
or Recruit Oklahoma Podcast. It'll
Yeah.
pop up however you want to look for it. So just look for the R.
Yes. There you
And y'all
go.
can see the Oklahoma in the R if you haven't noticed.
Listen. Okay, so when am I going? Can I buy? When am I
You,
going? Can I buy
I
one,
should have bought. I
please?
thought about bring you a
Listen.
hoodie. Yeah,
I need a hoodie.
I
Okay.
got you. I got you.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And the sorry, the 5 stars is not just for 5 star like for athletes.
Okay.
It's for the 5 area codes in Oklahoma. So you got 405, 918,
Come
all the ones.
on.
So you in one of these little area codes. So
I love that. And
yeah,
honestly, this whole time I did not realize that
that
was
that
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma in there. Yep. Most
Guthrie.
people haven't
Yeah.
noticed, but now you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I need one.
I
Okay.
got you.
I need a sweatshirt.
I
Come
got
on.
you. I got
Well,
you.
thank you again. I appreciate you.
All
You're
right.
always welcome back.
All right.
We'll maybe have to interview an athlete together or
Absolutely.
something.
Absolutely.
We'll do something together. But
Mm.
I appreciate you.
Yep. And let me give you your your
Okay.
kudos. I got to
Okay.
give you your flowers. Yeah. So you doing such a great job, and like you doing what you're telling me to do.
Yeah.
Get a team of people to help you
Yeah.
look. Got all this going on, and doing what you love, and you
Yeah.
still doing the wife, the mother, the real estate, and all of that stuff, and you grinding.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you having me on, and you doing your thing. So
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I
okay,
do.
you welcome. Yeah.
Listen, we had Deshaun Love in the real room today. And like he said, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. It takes a team sometimes. And so know that there are people out here that want to see you win as well. Whether it's on the court or off the court, anything is possible. Until the next time, see you in the real room.